outrageous to be the first human to move 1,100 pounds from the ground all the way up. What you witnessed was a categorically superlative feat of humanity. This is not something anyone just does. And the only other person to ever do this was a person who was tailor-built through generations of Viking war and slaughter in Iceland to be able to also do this kind of shit. It's just out of this world, beyond impressive. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for the RP Strength YouTube channel. I am a former professor of exercise and sports science, still actively involved in researching, and I'm a competitive bodybuilder and a black belt, as they say in Brazil, of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Isn't that cool? Kia! And today, I have the great and distinct honor of examining in depth with my laser vision. That would burn that. X-ray vision, though Scott sits behind there, probably make him sick. A Mr. V. Eddie. I was going to swear, Scott. Can I swear?
Sure.
To Eddie Bacchino, ain't it? Eddie Hall, former world's strongest man, one of the strongest humans to ever walk the face of the planet, and a trained boxer. That's really scary. You guys ready to get scared? 3, 2, 1, freak out!
Another strength and conditioning session today.
Scott, what's a strength and conditioning session?
Oh, wait, isn't it?
Governor, bruv, me mate. Okay, we're done, I swear. One more. Report. I swear to God, I'm done. Hey, he's got the same kind of folds in the back of his neck in the mirror that I do in mine.
It made me based on sort of explosive power, so we do lots of ball slams, get-ups, burpees, a bit of leg workout, all explosive, shoulder power.
Okay, yeah. If you're already really big and strong and you want to reach the pinnacle of explosive athletic performance for your sport, doing a little bit of training specifically geared for really fast contractions of your muscles, ballistic movements, that sort of thing is really, really wise. I will say, in direct literature, it's clear that up until you get very strong, and some of the literature indicates like a squat of double your body weight to roughly parallel, actually getting stronger makes you more powerful, which is to say explosive, than just working on speed and power training. So if you're not really strong yet, explosiveness training can help, but just getting stronger helps better. Of course, Eddie Hall is way stronger than those normative standards, so he should be using this.
Josh. Ed.
That's disconcerting. When a 330-pound man moves that fast, bad news if you're trying to play sports against him. Really bad news if he's trying to punch your lights out. I would fight Eddie Hall, but under the condition of, if he kills me, my family gets $1 billion and no other reason. Unless it was OnlyFans and it wasn't a fight. What? What would we be doing? Like, we have a list, but okay.
Josh. Ed.
Very cool stuff. So these are basically burpees on the fists. Burpees can teach you a lot of really good stuff and get your motor patterns going. They really do help reinforce level changes, which are critical for a variety of sports. If in a combat situation you get knocked down, getting up quickly before your opponent has a chance to advance their game on you is a really, really good idea. And obviously this trains the explosive upper body musculature really well. This is a very swell movement. And they're not trying to beat the crap out of his hands, so they have a little mat down there for him. Sharp. Whoa. Medicine ball slams are excellent for the anterior chain, all of the muscles that pull you down this way. The thing is, most people do them wrong. How? They don't use a medicine ball that is sufficiently heavy to require you to really push super hard. 2, they kind of just mail it in. I've coached a lot of athletes, and a lot of them were great. But some athletes, they're not going to try unless you tell them, and by tell I mean scream, and by scream I mean threaten death. And so for some athletes and lots of regular gym folks, they'll do medicine ball slams for power, quote unquote. But what they're really doing is just going, you can't let gravity take over. you have to visualize ultimate power generation. And one of the ways that's helped me is there is something on the ground that you have to destroy with the medicine ball. It's not so fragile, but it has its limits. And only if you throw the ball as hard as possible at it does it break and do you win the game. That's how every throw should be approached. Another tip, every throw in a medicine ball throwing training exercise has to be treated as one throw at a time. Don't you dare save up your shit. You're like, well, I've got 5 of these, better not throw it hard the first time. Bullshit. The best way you train power is to try sort of really close to your hardest every single rep. Oh, you can get your reps in, get good work capacity, get hypertrophy. Scott, did you just fart?
No, I shifted in my seat.
How do I know you're not lying, you farting asshole?
If I farted, I would have done it to the mic for all to hear.
All right, you didn't fart.
I think it's super important to that.
Oh, it's a fucking banana. Scott, if we put a gorilla in that room and also gave it a banana, and would it think it's looking through a mirror? The gorilla's like, yeah. Oh shit, I'm kind of light-skinned today. Shit. He does look like a monster animal. Also, unless that's a miniature banana, why the fuck is it so small? Scott, look, his fingers are the size of the fucking banana.
If you're training for long periods of time, obviously protein all the way through your session, but with the EAAs and the protein shakes. Well, I think if you're, especially someone my size, you need a little bit of a carb kick just to get you through the session. So something like a banana, really fast digesting, natural sugars, perfect.
Other than the natural sugars part, which doesn't matter, this is right on really good stuff. If you can tolerate, if you're doing hours-long training sessions and you can tolerate and prefer some easy digestible, low-fat, high-carb solid foods like bananas, rock on. It's just a matter of what your stomach can handle or what you think works well for you. But yeah, a lot of times we'll use a combination of essential amino acid shakes, kind of whey protein plus carbohydrates plus some other stuff in it. It'll take you all the way through. Sometimes regular foods can be the thing. It's probably not what you want to try first. The other thing is about that kind of shake that you want to make. There's sort of like 4 ingredients that you want to put into a shake. If you have a very long workout, like you're on an endurance cycle, you're on very long runs, you're doing CrossFit workouts that take a long time, 2 hours of the shit, strongman, boxing, MMA, whatever it may be, you can get yourself a shake. Jiu-jitsu folks would be really well to do this. Get yourself a shake that's combined of about 4 things. One is water. And you basically want something like an 8% solution, which means if you have 1,000 milliliters of water, the maximum amount of other stuff you can put there is 80 grams. That's an 8% solution. If you have more carbs and protein, which is 2 of the other things we'll be putting in there, than 80 grams, you have to take in more than 1,000 milliliters. So that's how you kind of determine how that works. 8%-ish roughly is very good because it's kind of the same molarity, same number of molecules that can absorb through your intestine as the rest of your body. So it's called isomolar. So if you drink it, then it really easily gets through your GI tract and gets into your bloodstream and rehydrates you. If you have something that is like just water, for example, or way less than 8% concentration of stuff, it ends up being that it hydrates the fuck out of you, but doesn't replenish a lot of stuff. So eventually you can just be peeing clear for 3 minutes straight and actually reduce how many electrolytes you have in your bloodstream, which is not great. The alternative is it's way too concentrated. Let's say it's 200 grams of carbohydrate and just 1,000 milliliters of fluid. You actually get thirstier drinking that because fluids have to come into your GI tract away from everything else in your body to dilute that. So it's no good. So roughly 8% solution works. Maybe a quarter of that or a fifth of that could be something like a fast digesting whey protein. And maybe most of that could be carbohydrate, but what else also works is key electrolytes, salts that you lose through sweating that your body needs as critical elements, and you process them all the time. They're getting really, really tons of flux during exercise. You sweat them out, etc. You're going to want to put them back in an ideal circumstance. You can take half a teaspoon of salt and put it in your shake, but you can also do, and it's much tastier and has all the different kinds of electrolytes that you need, is take an old packet of Element and put it in there. And you'll notice 2 things that happen if you really watch the element as it swims into your water and protein and carb mix. One is the electrolytes are getting in there. You shake it up. It's going to be a little saltier, but if you put enough fluids in there, it's the right taste to make you feel, and in reality, like you're hydrating. And the other thing is, if you look really, really closely, a little teeny dollar signs, because we're sponsored by Element and this was an ad read. Haha. But seriously, the shit works. Give it a shot. You don't need it a ton for a ton of other shit, but for this kind of maximum rehydration and refueling during the workout for long workouts, Element's clutch. I would really give it some thought. Ooh, I love that red bar. So fancy. And here Eddie's leisurely inclining 500 pounds. The number of people that can incline bench 500 is measured on a few dozen all over the world. This is not shit you'll see at a regular gym. This is insane. That super jack strong guy, almost certainly can't incline 500. This is nuts to witness. Scott, do you think you could do a little better eccentric control on that?
Jeez.
I mean, this is honestly, he's just rushing it at this point. Hey. No way. No way. Okay, so a full dead stop and unload with that eccentric control, this is like he could probably do a set of 6 or 7 of these with normal cadence, no problem. This is beyond insanity.
Come on. Oh, get it. Come on.
Oh my God. Oh my
God.
Hey, he said the same thing.
Oh, my shoulder.
Me shoulder. Folks from the United Kingdom, why do you often say instead of my shoulder or my grandmother, you say me shoulder or me nan? Explain in the comments below. By the way, I love your accent and I can't get enough of it. This is not a derogatory statement. Y'all are just awesome. I just wish I could speak the shit and understand it about half the time.
Now we're going to do banded work. We're going to do banded twists.
Finally, if you folks were here with us from the beginning of this channel's critique arc, you'll know that I talk mad shit about bands because I fucking hate them. JK. Actually, some of my master's research directly was on bands, so I do have a little skin in the game. Bands are not ideal for muscle hypertrophy. They're not even that great for promoting strength, but for promoting ballistic movements in which you release at the end, at which you're not slowing down at the end. And for power, bands are excellent. With a band, you actually can't mail it in, because if you mail it in, it just stops halfway through because the increase in tension is constant. So what you have to do with a band is really accelerate it. And when you're punching someone later and you're doing that similar motion, that banded work is going to get you more powerful and teach your nervous system how to punch through the target rather than to the target. And it's a really, really big deal. Eddie is doing a great job, maximum intent to move here, really. And if you're doing this with bands, you want to start from here and think about accelerating the band to peak velocity at the end and all the way through. It won't get to peak velocity because the force will increase as it pulls. It'll slow you down. All that matters is up here, your intention is as fast as you can. If you do that with bands, now you do it with regular weight, you're going to throw whatever wherever you need to. You do it with your fist. You know what I'm saying? You're in a grocery store aisle and you're like, I was actually next. And grandma's like, no, you weren't, Sonny, you son of a bitch. I'm next. Why don't you do nothing about it, you little bitch? Grandma. Remember how World War II was, bitch? I'm about to knock you back into that motherfucker. Bam! Then you probably get shot by the police. But sometimes, even if you're old, you've got it coming. That's all I'm trying to say. Grandma's usually not a person you want to punch. Scott, you feel me, though? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Talk that shit, bitch. See what happens.
Asking for it.
Rolling up on me like that. Fuck up out of here. I've been training with bands, bitch. Yes. Did he just give birth to a kettlebell like a chicken produced an egg? Where the hell did that come from? Folks, we still have more video left, so don't tune out. But if you want extra, more video, way longer, uncut, we have a members area. Click around on the links below and you will find it. Let's get in the members section and have tons more fun. All right, back to the video itself. I imagine this is like core endurance work, which for boxing might actually have a little bit of transfer of training, because the ability to stay relatively contracted in your core as you're absorbing a bunch of punches, like that might last a while, and you might need to be able to really keep it tight because you push your opponent away, get some shots in of your own, he comes back. If you lose core tightness because you're just that tired in your core because maybe you haven't done enough of these kinds of things, it could be an issue. So if it's a limiting factor in your own combat game, this kind of core tightening this kind of core endurance stuff could have some ROI. Does it look kooky? Sure, but there might be a method to the madness. Maybe. The first ever 500 kilogram, 1,102 pound deadlift. It's with straps, but it's from a regulation height on a regulation bar. This was a lift when it happened. There wasn't even, I think, more than 3 or 4 people that have ever pulled over 1,000. Eddie came out with this and left everybody behind. And it's monumental. Now, in a second, we'll probably show it, Scott, the Hafthor's response situation. We'll show that someone else, Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, another world's strongest man, actually did a little bit more than this later. Its own unbelievably impressive feat, but Eddie will be remembered as the first human being to lift over 1,100 pounds. And that is something that will never leave. It will never leave. It will always be his. And if I have ever a chance to meet him and shake his hand, first of all, I'm probably not going to shake his hand as he's breaking into pieces. I need my hands. How do you guys think I masturbate? It's not not my hands. But outrageous acclaim to be the first human to move 1,100 pounds from the ground all the way up. Baffling. And I remember this video. I saw the whole thing when it was happening. He basically blacked out. He's like blacked out right now. And he had to get like removed from the straps. He had to recover for like 15 minutes. I think he had like medical attention after. I mean, this was about as full send of an effort as any human has ever done. I mean, you ask yourself, how much total overall muscular raw trying would it take for a man of this size to lift 1,100 pounds? The answer is everything. And so he got mega hyped, great technique, finished the lockout, even had time to look around and nod a little bit. Because, I mean, did you really deadlift if you're not on that shit afterwards? Taking the pisses, people say. This is legendary and monumental. I want you guys to give that some thought if you're at home listening to this. What you witnessed was a categorically superlative feat of humanity. This is not something anyone just does. And the only other person to ever do this was a person who was tailor built through generations of Viking war and slaughter in Iceland to be able to also do this kind of shit. It's just out of this world, beyond impressive, beyond impressive. Hafthor's relationship to the size of a normally loaded barbell is insane. Scott, doesn't it look like you have like 10s or 25s on the bar?
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
It doesn't look normal. He's so big. And he still has like a small waist somehow, like X frame. Unreal. 501 kilograms. Looks good to me. Let's see maybe if Eddie Hall has something to say about it.
Yeah, I think, we all know his deadlift is bollocks.
Okay.
Do you guys get nervous when guys this big talk shit to each other? Scott, would you get nervous if you were that guy in the middle?
Yeah, what's he gonna do if they start fighting? It's not like he's gonna like break it up.
Fellas, please throw away your notepad and your Excel sheets. The RP Hypertrophy app has all of your workouts displayed in one place with guided videos on exercise techniques and a program that evolves to better suit your needs the longer you use the app. All you have to do is follow the plan right on your phone and get the gains. Click on the link in the description of this video to get started.
Who weighed the plates?
What the f*** are you? I'm not answering questions.
Who weighed the plates? Your dad.
It's getting personal, as we say in the business. Holy shit.
World record. Not allowed.
Okay, so real talk. True world records have to have calibrated plates that are weighed by officials. If that wasn't the case for Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, yes, there is some technical critique to make, but I do surmise there's a very low probability that his dad, chipped off parts of the plates and made it easier. It's highly unlikely. So in spirit points, is Hafthor's record of 501 legit? Is he legit that strong? Yeah, Yeah, he is. On technicalities, I'm not an expert on this part, but Eddie might have a point. So he also has huge delts, which always helps. That poor scared man in the middle. And if he's not scared, he should be.
That's like Usain Bolt running 100 meters in a world record and going, yeah, but my dad filmed it, my dad timed it.
Me dad, Scott.
Who sponsored it? Rogue. Whose ball was it? Rogue. Whose plates was it? Rogue. Whose platform was it? Rogue.
Rogue is a very reputable brand that does this all the time, so we're not able to say that it was a cheat setup. Could it have been more meticulously tracked? Maybe.
I'm not saying Rogue is dodgy,
Good. But really it is what you're saying.
but it's just wrong that Rogue built that platform,
Are you
put everything
listening
together.
to yourself? Are you listening to yourself? You won World Strongman
Here we
with
go.
the help of your best friend, who literally you're in business with
I wasn't.
Colin Price.
Not at the time, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Scott, this is getting wild, bro. Are we just a gossip TikTok channel at this point?
Sorry, we couldn't do this video without.
Very well. I'm just sitting here like eye emojis, like, Mike, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. It's just real scary. Gee whiz, these fellas seem really irate. I sure hope they're not on any steroids. Ugh. Whew. That was intense. Eddie Hall's the man. If you guys ever get a chance to watch his YouTube channel, it's awesome. Him and Brian Shaw have done a ton of collabs with their YouTube channels and have a ton of eating challenges. And I will say their banter is like second to none. Talking that shit. Also, these guys can eat an amount of food that's just like, again, just like their strength has no context. Like, I've never seen anyone eat 5 total meals from McDonald's at the same time by themselves, and I've made any sense of it. So Eddie Hall gets a legendary strength out of 10, and he gets 2 ratings. A person who was the first human being ever to deadlift 1,100 pounds out of 10. And also, person who has an amazing, is his accent, is he from Liverpool? Is he Scouse? No, he's from, Stoke-on-Trent. The bloke from Stoke. And I don't know what that means, because I don't know any of the, is that like a river or some shit like that? Eddie, you're the man. Keep doing what you're doing. Much love and respect, and I hope to one day pretend to be half as strong as you. I've been Dr. Mike, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo! That was something. Right over here, you might want to click on another video because YouTube says it's a good idea. Yes, YouTube people, I said what I said. Please free my family. Click now.